Thought I'd do a little video while I just kind of sit here in the car and stuff, man. Um, I was just talking to my homie and stuff, and he was asking a question, and I get this question a lot. Why don't you open up another IT training program? Well, the training program I was going through at one point was through a nonprofit. I came up with all of the curriculum and stuff like that. I pretty much designed it. I have free reign to design and talk about what I want. I just followed I followed the objectives in the Microsoft, you know, programs. So I didn't have to really reinvent the wheel. What I did is I threw all the hands-on stuff that I knew and all of the stuff that I saw. And then I just start teaching that. I didn't refer to the book a lot. I just started going straight into virtualization the way I was taught. I was the only person in my neighborhood that knew what I knew to the degree that I did. And so I just took that and it just added a layer upon what I was taught. Somebody gave me the game on virtualization. They gave me the game on TeamViewer. And I had already been hustling and I'd be selling computers here and there. And that just gave me the extra stamp. So I came from a somewhat of a sales background. I come from a hustle background. I told y'all, my homies sold work and they sold all kind of other little stuff. And I sold mixtapes, t-shirts, and computers. And I did computer repair. Because I figured that, it might take a little longer. It's going to take me a little longer to get where they're at. And I ain't going to do no time. You see, that's how I thought about this. And it worked. It just took a while, but it worked. And now we're not in the arena. You still offer services, but we're not in the arena of selling a lot of hardware right now because you got these things. You got these. So, you could work on those. You could repair those if so. I was just talking to my homie and he was like, well, why didn't you do another IT program? I said, well, I told myself I'm going to invest 7 years, which I did. And actually probably been more. I'm going to invest 7 years in the community. It wasn't a whole bunch of money. I just wanted to help some black folk out. You know what I'm saying? I said, I got in the game and the way I did it was unconventional, and so I just wanted to be somewhat of a beacon to show people what it is and what you look for once you get up in here. So I decided after that, well, I'm just going to write down. I had different ideas that I always kept and I never really thought about a book, and so then I said, all right, well, maybe I could do that. And I did it, and I took all my ideas and all my notes over the past 5+ years because I had already done the training. I had trained a bunch of people. I got people a bunch of money. I got people jobs. I revised their resumes and I just started writing about it. And then I made my first book, How to Get Into the Game. It's an hour read. That book sold more than the one that I really want to sell, which is the big one. Now that one I go into the dark arts now. I'm letting you know this is like a black history book. This is an IT black history book. So, I didn't have the desire to go back and train again. For one, a lot of the technology changed and, it changes every 6 months. So at that time, I was kind of passing the torch when we were moving towards the cloud and stuff like that. Like I always use AWS and Azure to kind of showcase things. But by that time, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't working on a lot of the cloud stuff. I should have been, but I wasn't working on the kind of cloud stuff because, my initial plan was if I got stuff rolling, passive income the way I wanted with my books and stuff, if that was the case, I was going to gracefully just bow up out of there, do something else. I started opening up companies and stuff. Me and my wife started opening up companies and doing stuff. And so I said, well, if this goes, I ain't going back in them offices. It didn't turn out that way. And that's okay. Cause I know how to make money, so I think over the years from hustling hand to hand and putting things in my hand and actually hustling and seeing the money, cash go in my hand. When you start having Cash App and stuff, I think I was I'm gonna be honest, I think I was kind of slow to adapt. I was. So going from like a service oriented model, I'm going into like a tech training oriented model. and I'm not selling physical things anymore until I have my books. So I probably went a good 4 to 6 years. At that time, I'm not, I'm not thinking. I think I lost my hustle spirit a little bit. I wasn't looking at it at that time because I was making money, and my jobs kept paying me more and more and more. But I just stopped hustling like that. I didn't really have nothing to sell. I was taking my time, spending my time doing the community work. But that's not how I made my money. I made my money through corporate. I made my money through going to work and stuff like that. And then sometimes I do one-off contracts and I would do things like that. But that's how I made my bread and butter. So me trying to do tech training, and here's the thing. I wanted to do tech training on how I wrote my books. Like, I want to be able to speak and talk like how I'm talking to y'all right now, and speaking to the people that I'm serving the way I talk right now without modifying a damn thing. I'd have a potty mouth at sometimes. I learned how to kind of tone that down just a little bit. But for, like I say, if I can't deliver it how I need to deliver it, ain't no sense in me doing it. Because I know what I'm going to give y'all. I've lived it. I've done it. I've got people jobs. I've done this. So I know what I was doing. It wasn't that I was a rocket scientist. I just got up one day and started to do it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have desire to go back and do that no more. Maybe I might come out the shell and do it again, but I just don't have the desire. Everything that I could give y'all can just go ahead and read it. You could take some of it from the channel, but most of it I'm just up here talking shit, but you could take something from interviews, but I gave everything that I've done and gave y'all, that is now in a book for sale. And at first I felt kind of funny about that because I'm like, well, damn, man, I'm making money off my folks. I said, well, hell, our culture, Black American culture, is getting exported at over 40%, and we don't even probably get 30% of that. I am supposed to make money off my culture. I'm the culture. I created a culture where black folks could get some money. Far as I'm concerned, I had some help, but I created a culture far as the tech. I made the tech shit look cool. And I got the receipts to back it up from the people that got the bread. So I said, you know what? Yeah, I should be making money off it. I'm the one that actually took the cybersecurity courses. And I'm driving my gas and doing this and doing that. And taking time out of my day, up 1, 2 in the morning, with a cold brew in my hand, working on 5 or 6 resumes till 3, 4 in the morning. And then reaching out to recruiters before I go to work. Going into the bathroom,